Mm-hmm.
Hello, my name is Oliver Schlafer, and we're here with Kimberly Frank, who's a licensed realtor and our resident expert in best strategies for helping people avoid foreclosure. And she's been featured in many national publications, including Newsweek and USA Today, because of her extensive knowledge on the subject and her experience with helping homeowners who are in foreclosure. And welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you very much, Oliver. I appreciate being on the show today.
And we're honored to have you, that you took the time to spend with us today, so thank you very much for that. You've worked with literally hundreds of homeowners who have found themselves facing foreclosure for a variety of different reasons and unable to sell their home in a declining market. In your experience, can you talk a little bit about the options, the 5 main options that a homeowner has who finds themselves in that foreclosure situation? For example, going into foreclosure, if they go ahead and let that process.
Sure. First of all, I want to say that people believe that when they let the house go into foreclosure, Oliver, that it's done and over with. That is not true. It stays on their credit report for 7 to 10 years, and then there's a deficiency judgment where the bank can come back after a seller for up to 20 years. Now, one of the things that the bank does not tell a lot of people is that they have the chance of a deficiency judgment. You see, they signed a mortgage and a note. When the house goes, they still have the note. They still owe the money. So having the right person negotiate that short sale, which is where the bank will take less than what's owed and get the deficiency judgment waived, is a key to the success. Bankruptcy is another issue that people will say, I'll just file bankruptcy, I'll be done with it. Then that stays on their credit for 7 to 10 years. And then what happens there is the bank is so busy, they want the money and they don't want the home. And it takes another year before it cleans up on their credit, and then it goes into foreclosure, and then they can't start over. They need a fresh start. Most of the people try loan modifications, and unfortunately in our economy, 95% of those loan modifications aren't approved because their circumstances never changed. Obviously, when they get jobs and things happen to make the change, that's good, but a lot of people don't understand that the values of the properties aren't coming back. Then, after they've gone through all of the stress and the hassle of the loan modification, they'll say, well, maybe I'll hire an attorney. Attorney will postpone it. They need money for an attorney. If they had money for an attorney, obviously they would have already fought the foreclosure action or brought their payments current, which is the main thing.
Right.
What I find out of all the options, the short sale is the best. They get 100 points off their FICO score versus a foreclosure of 250 points. They're able to start over. They know about whether or not there's a deficiency judgment. If you have the right individual that fights for you, you get that waived. If you have no one fighting for you, they have the right up to 20 years to come back after someone. So it's a very scary thing. I know that we do have a report on the website here that gives all the options available to consumers, and they really need to learn all their options. And sometimes making the best option is deciding that instead of waiting for the foreclosure action, they need a fresh start now while they can. Their credit's going down. Then they try to go and get another house, and they can't get in. However, the monthly mortgage payment that they're paying on their big house or little house could be a lot less on another house. They could get a bigger house, better area, more room, and can start over. If they stay in the home and do nothing, the bank will come and throw them out.
How often does that happen? Does someone say, well, they'd rather just stay there for as long as they can and wait for the foreclosure process because they want to stick it to the bank?
They stick it to themselves. It happens a lot because they think this is their only option. Their option is to start over and make sure they sell the house. On their credit report, on the short sale side, the banking industry are putting that it is a short pay and has been paid off. If they do nothing later on, they won't be able to get a house. And, it's hard for the children. If you have children, it's really a sad situation. I have a lot of sellers that go through emotional, financial, all kinds of challenges that not only takes a toll on them physically, but also on their children, on their husband. Divorces are on the rise. I mean, it's just our economy right now. you know, bad things happen to good people, and it's time for you guys to take a stand. And the stand is to know your options and move forward on the right options. Don't let anything get in your way. Starting over and starting fresh is always the best way to go. But they need to know their options.
Not to harp on this, but in your experience, how often is the seller or is the homeowner aware of the deficiency judgment that might be put on them?
They're not. They think I'll give it back to the bank, it goes to foreclosure, it's over.
But it's not over.
No, it's not over. The banks have up to 5 years to come after for a deficiency judgment and up to 20 years to collect.
Wow.
So now they get a job, their life is going great, and bam, here comes big bad bank. Now, banks are having challenges. Everyone has to understand that. They have the right to collect. They signed a promissory note. But if they don't take care of the situation now instead of burying their head in the sand, later on when things are great, they'll have challenges.
Wow. Well, you know, at this point, you've successfully negotiated hundreds of short sales.
Yes.
And, you know, what would you say it is that motivates you to, you know, to continue working as hard as you do?
The lack of knowledge for a seller. It makes me feel really happy when a seller does get a house that is the deficiency judgment's waived. A buyer gets a new home, and we're able to help our economy because it's a win-win situation. If no one works on short sales, then our economy is going to be upside down. No one's going to have houses to move into in the future, and who knows what's going to happen in America.
So if somebody comes across this and they're in a situation where they're facing foreclosure and they'd like to seek your help, what should they do?
Definitely get the report on the side here of the website. It's the free report. Download it and then put your information in the website and contact us, and we'll see how we can help you.
Good.
Our services are free, Oliver. There's no fee to them. We don't charge for an attorney, and obviously we don't get paid unless a short sale is concluded and sold.
Thank you very much for your time, Kimberly.
You're welcome. Thank
It's been
you.
a real pleasure.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks.